Okay, so we have the moon in Cancer at the moment. So when the moon is in Cancer, this is going to be how we feel on the inside about things. Cardinal water. So we're going to be pretty much in the birth stage at this point, coming up with a new way to react and respond to giving birth towards our feelings, our emotions, and how we feel on the inside about a person, place, or thing, or ourselves in general. Now the sun is in Virgo, so this is bringing a sextile, an opportunity for us to react to new ways of feeling and giving birth to something, and of course applying that by over worrying about it, stressing about it, thinking about it, practicalizing it, and analyzing it. So this is a sextile that's going to bring opportunities wherever you have Cancer and Virgo at, which we will basically break down, and of course which will basically pretty much help you during these 2 days phases, because the moon is fast. The moon is always switching. The moon, we're always going through mood changes and things of that perspective on how we feel about things on the inside, and what goes on the inside will basically be poured out externally. So it's all about what you do with how you feel on your inside first before you put it out there externally. You don't want to put yourself into a situation and location of just putting yourself out there in the day-to-day energies and you don't know what's going on in the sky. You want to pretty much see how these energies is influencing you, how you can use these energies to pretty much go about your day-to-day life. And of course, you're a star. We are all stars. So of course, you got to know how to use these energies. And that's pretty much important to pretty much favor towards your way. For me, because everybody can be basically dealing with conjunctions, oppositions, sextiles, gifts, trines, and of course extreme energies. But also, wherever you have these at in your charts, this is going to be the area and location that's just going to basically be affecting you during this time. So how it's going to be affecting you is how it's going to play out throughout your day-to-day life on how you go about these things. But of course, we got the moon in Cancer at the moment, so that means you need to be reacting and responding towards the things you care about, the things you love, the things you appreciate and value. And you want to make sure that you're in a comfortable space, in a comfortable state during this time. You don't want to be uncomfortable. But what's going to make you uncomfortable is Pluto and Capricorn. So yeah, that's what's going to basically make you uncomfortable. Things that's going to throw you off. that's going to bring comfortability and familiarity in your life is going to be thrown off by Pluto and Capricorn. Because Pluto and Capricorn is pretty much a new way of coming up with transformations and getting deep with taking power and control over statuses, reputations, and goals and responsibilities and duties and obligations that you pretty much are going through on a day-to-day phase. Now with the Pluto, that's like a generation. So we're going through a whole deep transformation when it comes to generational perspectives, and of course this is the outlook of the world, and pretty much it's how it's being affecting every person, place, and thing. So all Capricorn Sun on the is pretty much going through these transformations inwardly and externally. But we're going to basically get deep into the details on how these things are going to play out. Now, so we basically dealing with that energies, but now we're gonna basically get into these energies and see what's going on in the sky when it comes to these aspects. You know, the aspects is pretty much what you're basically dealing with when it comes to these astrological events and these learning aspects, these opportunities aspects, these gifts aspects, and of course these oppositions aspects. Now, these aspects can be good and bad for all phases. It depends on the planets, and of course it depends on where you're focusing your vocal points on that. And of course, with the sun being a Virgo and the Neptune being in Pisces right now, this is at oppositions. So that means your actions and your dreams is at odds. So in order to bring these things together, you need to put yourself into a circumstance or situation of putting yourself in focusing on what you need to focusing on your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies, and boom, bringing that into existence, bringing that to the light with the sun being in Virgo. Now, if you got the sun trine and Pluto at the moment, the sun and Pluto is working together, so it's going to bring you gifts. Now you're going to have the gift to pay attention towards what works, what makes sense, what makes practicality become existence, and of course you're going to have Capricorn with Pluto and Capricorn, so that means you're going to have the gift to take actions and use transformations and redecorate things and be down to earth, and of course make a status and be known out of this perspective when it comes to these projects. You also got the sun conjuncting Mercury at the moment, so that means whatever's on your mind, you're going to basically be expressing that. So you're going to be expressing what's on your mind at this point. And of course, you're going to be very critical, very detail-oriented about it. And of course, probably very analyzing about it as well. So you're going to have the power to express your mind. So make sure that whatever you're speaking out your tongue is worth valuing speaking and not unvaluing speaking at this point. So we also got Sun opposing Jupiter right now. So that means our actions and our experiences is at odds. So Sun opposing Jupiter is putting into the perspective of feeling disconnected when it comes to experiences. So that means Jupiter in Aries wants you to pretty much be direct, but also want you to, but also be in the retrograde. So of course it's going to bring past circumstance situations that's going to bring oppositions and obstacles, or you can be dealing with past obstacles that's going to be basically popping up in your face. Experiences, people, places, and things, and of course events that you pretty much had external or internal dates or timelines with. You also got the Sun trine in Uranus. So that means you're going to have the gift to change your actions or change whatever you're becoming unique. So you're going to have the gift to just basically be unique and original, and of course change things up and shake things up, and of course be yourself. And the better you can pretty much do this, the better the outcome will basically go in your favors from all aspects and all angles. You also got Moon square Mercury right now. So that means how you feel on the inside about yourself. It's going to be conflict when it comes to what you think and communicate, and of course analyzing about in certain circumstances, situations. So in phrases like this, that means your moon and your mind is at odds. Yeah, so with Moon square Mercury, what makes you feel comfortable and what's on your mind is at conflict at this point. So you could pretty much feel good or feel ungood about something, and you could be pretty much thinking positive about something, but your moods and how you feel is kind of like at odds. So that pretty much means you need to learn how to you're going to learn how to deal with this aspect. This aspect shall pass. So this is pretty much putting you into a situation of whatever you're reacting to is going to basically bring conflict to your mind, and whatever's on your mind is going to bring conflict towards how you feel on the inside about things. So be careful what you're paying attention to, and be careful what you're reacting towards too, because what you react and respond to is basically giving life to things. So you don't want to give life to things that's going to be on your mind that's negative. You also got Moon square Jupiter. So that means how you feel on the inside, and the experiences that you're going to take is going to put you in conflict. So that means you're going to be feeling comfortable about certain things, but Jupiter is going to basically make you feel uncomfortable about certain experiences and things of that perspective and things of that nature. So your feelings and emotions, how you feel about things, and Jupiter in Aries, directness, passions and your motivations is going to be at odds. Experiences with your passions, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable or lazy during this time, because we also got the retrograde. Or you also could be pretty much feeling about past experiences that you had previously. We also got Mercury opposition Jupiter at the moment. So the way we think, communicate, and analyze, or the way we think, communicate, and relate, actually, we in Libra still, it's going to be at opposite when it comes to our experiences or past experiences and things of that perspective. So that means we're going to be basically dealing with some unbalance when it comes to our thinking and communicating and the way we relate our passions. It'll be very unbalanced on this side. So yeah, that's how it's gonna play out. We also got Venus square Mars at the moment. We got Venus in Virgo, Mars is pretty much in Gemini. So that pretty much is putting us, this is not a bad square, but this is pretty much putting you into a perspective of learning how to value and appreciate and think and communicate and analyze what you're valuing, and of course what you're focusing your passions, your energy towards too, because Mars is in Gemini. So yeah, be aware of that. So that means our we're gonna have conflicts valuing our passions and our motivations and speaking about these things and appreciating these things. We're going to have conflicts with that, and we're going to be pretty much over-analyzing about these things, overcompensating about these things, and it's going to be very heavy on our mind. We also got Venus trine Uranus right now. So that means Venus trine Uranus is pretty much bringing you the gift to value and appreciate what makes sense and what's being perfect when it comes to your changes. So you're gonna have the gift to go through some unexpected changes when it comes to your relationships. You've seen what happened to India and Lil Durk. So they had the gift to go through some unexpected changes when it comes to their relationships and their partnerships. And you're dealing with a Pisces and a Libra. So Venus and Virgo. So Libra falls in Virgo, and Pisces is opposition when it comes to Venus and things of that perspective too. So yeah, it brought oppositions and it brought ups and downs when it comes to their relationships too. Yeah, so with that Venus and Virgo energy, that's going to have the gift. You're going to have the gift to be unique and original and see what works and what don't work when it comes to previous experiences. You're dealing with your love, your appreciation, your values, your relationships, your romance, your love affairs, and things of that perspective. And things that you kind of like made perfect or wanted to be perfect is going to basically pop back up. You also got Venus opposition Neptune. So with Venus opposing Neptune, it's pretty much the things we value and appreciate and love and compromise with, it's going to be at opposite when it comes to our dreams, imaginations, and things of that perspective. So you try not to value too many illusions during this time, because you could probably put yourself into a situation kind of like, trying to make things work and of course make things perfect during this time. But Neptune is pretty much going to bring the delusions and illusions, and it's going to pretty much bring things in them, because kind of are going to actually bring things in the light You know what I mean? So this is like a situation where, you know, you're trying to work something out with somebody or trying to build with somebody, things of that perspective. But there was some illusions and of course some delusions and some manipulation going on behind the scenes of that perspective. So be aware of that perspective. Or yeah, don't get your heart hurt during this. Of course, we're about to be in cuffing season, so it's gonna be a whole lot of heartbreaking, whole lot of yeah. That's it. Also, we got Mars sextile Chiron right now. So when Mars sextile and Chiron is in Aries. Mars is in Gemini. So we're going to have opportunities to think, communicate, and analyze passionately about our trauma. Or we're going to pretty much be able to, you know, use our trauma to get us through situations and circumstances and things that matter. So you never know what can pretty much work into your favor. And of course, be in your best interest. I mean, the power of the pen and the power of your voice and the power of your tongue can pretty much, you know, get you out of trauma during this time. Especially when you're doing it on a day-to-day basis. And we also got Mars trying Saturn right now. So we're going to have the gift, Mars, in Gemini, to think, communicate, and of course share ideas about our passions and our associations and be unique and original about these things. Also, we're going to have past experiences and past associations that we pretty much had conversations with or connections with that's going to basically pop back up in your life, and of course have these things work out in your favor for gifts. Now the gift could be good gifts or bad gifts for me. So you don't want to have no bad gifts by basically being guilty by association, communicating and sharing ideas with the wrong individual that you associate yourself with. So you want to make sure these people are legit and original, and of course, before you try to build with anybody and everything. Saturn square Uranus. This is kind of good because Saturn is in Aquarius, and of course Uranus is in Taurus. So this is going to basically, you're going to go through some learning experiences when it comes to, you're going to be pretty much learning about a reality, learn how to conduct yourself when it comes to reality right now, learn how to get yourself on the internet or associate yourself all around the world, and of course be down there for practical, and of course bring safety, security, and of course money, resources, and material. People getting paid to make Instagram videos now. People getting paid to make videos on the sound. So that's pretty much like the new reality when it comes to technology. You also got Uranus trine Pluto, so you're going to have the gift to go through some detransformations and power control issues. So with Uranus trine Pluto, this is putting you into a situation of which whatever you was clinging onto, Pluto is going to transform that and of course bring separation. Yeah, but the Uranus trine Pluto energy, see, Uranus is bringing unexpected changes, and of course it's putting you into situations of needing to be unique and original. It's also in Taurus, so this is pretty much putting yourself into a situation of having a gift to think, be practical, and be down to earth when it comes to stability, safety, and security. And also shake things up when it comes to Pluto and Capricorn. So pretty much whatever you was clinging on to, whatever you was holding on to, is going to transformations. You ever seen that movie Avengers? You see when Thanos snapped his fingers? This is pretty much what's going on this time. I mean, the world is snapping its fingers during this time. So we're going to change it. We're going to transformation during this time, for good or for worse. Which means you need to pretty much have your own way of gaining safety, security, stability, money, wealth, and of course health, and put yourself into a situation of using that gift to transform things, take power and control over things, and have your own way of developing your resources and material structure, and of course how you're conducting these things. We also got Neptune sextile Pluto. So with Neptune sextile Pluto, you're going to have the opportunities to be mutable and adaptable and changeable towards your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies. And also, opportunities pretty much means you got to put in work, you got to put in time. Opportunities means put in work, put in time towards getting comfortable, getting down to earth, and of course putting yourself into a situation, of course taking power and control over your dreams, imagination, and of course making these things come true. Now we're about to basically break it down to the houses, and we're going to basically break it down to the signs, but we're going to do the signs real quick. So all Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendances, you guys are going to be going through some conflict when it comes to learning during this time. So you need to be learning how to be more loving, nurturing, and caring when it comes to yourself, or wherever you have that in your constellation. Now Tauruses, you guys are going to be basically acting and manifesting extreme energies and opportunities to be down to earth and practical, and of course gain safety, security, and of course comfortability. The Moon, the Cancer, is going to basically exalt Taurus. Now Gemini, you guys are going to be pretty much being curious about what you have and what you're going to be adapting to when it comes to thinking and communicating, of course sharing and caring during this time when it comes to your way of analyzing things. Cancer, you guys are going to have the power and control to pretty much make love, nurture, and care for good ways or bad ways. Now Leos, you guys are going to be pretty much going to be reflecting, or going to be pretty much backtracking when it comes to expressing yourself when it comes to the caring energy. Now Virgos, you're going to have opportunities to shine light on these things or pretty much react to these things when it comes to your work, health, and routine and caring about these things. Now Libras, you're going to have to be learning how to learn how to be a little bit more private during this time. Everything got to be too open and friendly and out there, things of that perspective. Scorpios, you guys can pretty much be having a whole lot of gifts for a whole lot of powerful energies and feelings and emotions that's going to be going towards you. Sagittarius, you're going to have misunderstandings, which you can go to extremes. Capricorn, you're going to be at odds when it comes to your way of acting and reacting. Aquarius, you're going to be going through misunderstandings. And of course, Pisces, you're going to be going through some extremes when it comes to your dreams and imagination. Now, if you have Cancer in your first house, now your first house is going to basically be your representation of yourself and how you personally appear, and of course what you personally got going on. Now you need to pretty much react and respond towards loving, nurturing, and caring, and having a meaning and a reason and a purpose behind what you're loving and nurturing and caring during the time when it comes to yourself. Now watch out, you're going to get opposed by relationships that's going to bring transformations, good or for worse. And also, you need to be pretty much giving life towards yourself during this time, not nobody else. Unless you have kids that's in your personal life and things that perspective, yeah, it makes sense. Or your marriage and things that perspective, or people, places, and things that's kind of like, privately connected in your life. But nobody that's kind of like, in the backwards of that perspective. Now, you're gonna go to the extremes. Watch out. You're gonna be either going to the extremes or manifesting extreme energies when it comes to your associations and what you're associating yourself with. People, places, and things that you have patience with or build bonds with. Now, what can basically make and destroy you is your love, your romance, your hobbies, your fun, your entertainment, your enjoyment, or try to pretty much be self-centered. That can kind of like get you hurt or get you up out of here during the sign. So be aware of that. Now, if you have Cancer in your second house, what you pretty much need to be doing is having a meaning, reacting and responding towards giving birth, towards a meaning and a reason towards what you're valuing. Your money, your resources, your material, and your structure, or being down on earth during this time. For me, you need to put time and patience towards your feeling, your emotional stance about things, on the things you value and the people you value. Now, what's going to be opposing you is going to basically be deep transformations of dealing with sexual desires, sexual urges, or, sex affairs. For me, so trying to put yourself into a situation to jump in the gun, of course, so out and into something that can kind of like, irk you. But you're gonna have good or bad sexual desires or sexual urges when it comes to your 8th house, and you're gonna go to extremes when it comes to your spiritualities, your yoga, your internal work or whatever you got going on. You're gonna be going to extremes in that area. Now, what can make you and break you is gonna basically be your 6th house, your job, your work, your health, your routines, your diet, things that matter. Make sure you're pretty much balancing things out during the time. Don't go to the extremes in these energies, because the moon and Cancer can kind of like make you go to extremes in certain areas. Try not to do that. Now, if you got Cancer in your 3rd house, you're gonna be placed into a circumstance, situation of pretty much reacting and responding towards giving birth, towards your environment and caring about your environment and the people, places, and things that you have connections with siblings, neighbors, and people, places, and things that's home and family. Be more caring in that area, or you're going to be manifesting areas and people, places, and things that's going to be caring more about you. Now, watch out. You're going to go through some deep transformation when it comes to your beliefs, what you believe in, and of course your religions or your expectations towards your experiences, things of that perspective. Now, what can make you and break you is going to basically be your 7th house, your relationships. You're a Taurus ascendant, so be aware. Your relationships can make you and break you, and your 1st house is going to be you going to. Yeah, so pretty much, like I was saying, with your 3rd house, you are Taurus ascendant, so you can pretty much be in the situations of extreme energies of manifesting these things and unexpected changes when it comes to your personality and of course what you got going on. So yeah, watch out. Now, if you got this in your 4th house, you need to be pretty much reacting and responding towards giving new birth and more love and nurturing and caring towards home, family, and privacy. And wherever you got Sun and Virgo at, you need to pretty much work on these things. Now, what's going to be opposing you is going to be what's throwing you off is pretty much past transformational statuses dealing with business, career, goals, and responsibilities. That's going to basically pop back up during the time that can kind of like throw you off. Now, the area that you're going to go to the extreme is going to basically be your money, your resources, and of course your material, which is your 2nd house. Now, the area and location that can kind of like destroy you during this time is you being in the dark about something, you holding something in, dealing with privacies, or kind of like dealing with some deep connections or deep transformations or sexual urges. Now, if you got this in your 5th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of reacting emotionally towards giving new birth, towards your creative endeavors, your romance, your expressions, your creativity, your talents, and of course your fun, entertainment, and of course enjoyment. Now, watch out. You're going to basically be getting opposed by some deep transformations that's going to basically be dealing with your association, of course, the people, places, things that you associate yourself with. Now, the area and location that you're going to basically be going to the extremes in is going to basically be your 3rd house. Thinking and communicating, of course, sharing too much during this time when it comes to your ideas and the way you're expressing yourself. So be aware of that. And also, what can make you and break you during this time is you getting on a plane, you going long distance travel, or what you believe in, and of course, certain experiences that may basically may not go in your favor during this time. So be aware. Going to extreme territories that you're not welcome in. Also, if you got this in your 6th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of course, reacting towards giving new birth, towards how you feel emotionally about your work, your health, your routines, your managers, your bosses. And also, you're going to be manifesting opposition when it comes to your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies, and your subconscious. It's going to basically be at highs during this time. Now, in this house and location right here, you're going to be going through the extremes when it comes to your home and your family, or dealing with your home and family during this time, or manifesting this from home and family. And what can make you and break you during this time is going to basically be your status, your career, your goals, your responsibilities, your duties, your obligations, and things that I mentioned. So your 10th house, that can make and break you during this time, and can destroy you of you having statuses and associations and things of that perspective of what you're conducting yourself in. Now, if you got this, actually, I'm lying. You're gonna go to the extremes when it comes to your romance, someone that you have a connection with, or I'm lying again. No, yeah, you're going to go to the extremes when it comes to your status. All right, now, if you got to see in 7th house, you're going to be the one that's going to be opposite. But, of course, you're going to be coming up with a new way of reacting emotionally towards giving birth and life towards relationships. Now, you're going to go to the extreme when it comes to your romance and, of course, your love affairs. What can make you and break you during this time is your association towards the public, or putting yourself out there towards the public to be aware. And, of course, you could be your worst enemy during this time. Now, if you got moon and Cancer, and your 8th house is debilitated here. They don't pretty much like being here, but of course it's gonna bring gifts. But of course they don't like being here. Now, if you got moon and Cancer in your 8th house, you need to come up with a new way of reacting emotionally and deeply, and being private and hidden towards how you feel about something deeply within yourself, your passions, your motivations, your goals, or whatever you have connections with. Now, you're gonna have some oppositions that's gonna bring power and control issues or transformation when it comes to your 2nd house, which is going to basically be dealing with values, resources, and money and material. So be aware of that. Try not to pretty much put yourself into that situation. Now, you're going to go to the extremes when it comes to your work, your health, your routines, and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. That's going to be the area and location that you go to the extremes at. Now, watch out. What can make you and break you during this time is your subconscious, your gut feeling, and of course your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies. Now, if you got this in your 9th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of going to the extremes and being very optimistic when it comes to your experiences and, of course, what you believe in. Now, watch out. You're going to get opposed by your surroundings, your friends, siblings, or neighbors, or someone or something that's in your environment that can kind of that can bring transformation. So be aware. Try not to be too much in your environment during this time. Try to expand and get away from your environment. Now, you're going to go to the extremes when it comes to your relationships and how you relate towards others, or you're going to be manifesting this. And what can make you and break you during this time is going to basically be yourself during this time. Now, if you got to see in 10th house, it's debilitated here, it's cold here, I don't like being here. So you need to come up with a new way of emotionally connecting towards your status, career, and of course your goals and your responsibilities. What's going to oppose you is going to be your home, family, or your privacy, or your comfortability. And of course, what can kind of with the areas that you're going to go to the extreme is dealing with privacy, holding things in, and of course being very deep, and of course emotionally strong, emotionally heavy during this time. Now, what can make you and break you is the things you value: money, resources, and material and structure. Now, if you got this in your 11th house, you're going to be pretty much coming up with a whole new way of emotionally connecting towards your associations and being more loving, nurturing, and caring towards these things. Be more open towards your associations, your groups, of course, the people, places, the thing that you're building with. Now, you're going to be manifesting some oppositions when it comes to your 5th house, aka your romance, your love affairs, and things of that perspective. Now, you're going to go to the extremes when it comes to your experiences, your meanings, your reasons, your purposes, and of course, you traveling. And watch out, what can bring death and transformation is going to basically be the things in your environment, your surroundings, or the people, places, the things that you got going on in that area and location. So be aware of that. And last but not least, if you have this in your 12th house, you're going to be basically going through the extreme and manifesting extreme energies that are dealing with your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies. Come up with a new way of giving birth in life, giving birth towards loving and nurturing and caring towards your dreams and imaginations. Now watch out, what's going to oppose you is going to be your 6th house, your work, your health, your routines, or your body. And you're going to go to the extremes when it comes to your status, career, goals, and what you broadcast. That's going to be an area that's going to go to the extremes. And what can make you and break you is going to be your home, your family, your privacy, and of course the things that make you feel comfortable and vulnerable during that time. So yeah.